is Alan Ball.
Hi, this is Audrey Fisher.
This is Jim Perry.
Hi, this is Kristen Bauer.
Hi, this is Alexander Skarsgård.
This is Nelson Ellis.
Hi, this is Johnny Neal.
This is Rayo Tucker. Hi, this is Lindsay Fulton.
Hi, this is Ryan Quantum from True Blood. Hello, this is Theo Alexander.
Hey, this is Lauren Bowles.
Hi, this is David Tishman.
This is Chase Everett.
Hello, this is Janina Gavankar.
This is James Frame.
Hi, this is Courtney Ford, and you're listening to True Blood Radio.
Hi, this is Liz and Mel with True-Blood.net, and we are coming to you with talks about Almost Home. We're going to let you know what we thought about the episode and what we liked, what we didn't like, toss around some ideas, kind of bounce off some thoughts off of you guys, and hope you guys will feel free to comment at will. And we've got just a couple little announcements that we want to make sure that you guys are able to take part in. So this is podcast number 229 for the week of August 10th, and we're winding it down. 2 more episodes.
That's right. 2 more episodes of True Blood, 2 more episodes of True Blood Radio.
Yep.
Can you believe it?
I know, already.
It's crazy. Crazy.
It's insane. To the brain.
So I wanted to mention very quickly, we posted this Sunday, that, the little pop figurines that True Blood's doing, the little Funko Pop figurines, those are out now. They're shipping. I think everything except Bill is shipping. All the other 5 are out for, you can purchase them now at True-Blood.net. Let me try that again. True-Blood.net/HBO shop. And that will take you to the HBO shop and give us a little bit of a kickback on whatever you purchase to help support the site. But you can get the Sookie, Eric, Lafayette, Pam, and I'm blanking on the other one.
Alcide?
Sophia. Alcide, thank you. Oh, yeah, the one I actually have. Those are all shipping now. You can buy them and they're shipping now. I'm not sure what the holdup is with the Bill one, but that's supposed to be shipping later this month. So head on over and check those out. And there's also some other new True Blood merchandise. There's a hoodie, a lightweight hoodie. There's a red Bon Tom football jersey that looks pretty cool. Some other t-shirts, and there's Bellfleur stuff. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of boycotting that. So the Merlot stuff is still available for purchase as well.
Merlot's all the way.
Merlot's all the way. So, just head over and check that out, True-Blood.net/HBO shop, and see what's available. The little figurines are only like $10, so that's a pretty collectible price.
I think I might get Sookie.
Like that. I think I need Sookie too, just because she's our Sook.
Yep, she's our Sook.
She's our Sook.
Love our Sook.
Yeah. And then I could put her with Alcide and they can be together. Nah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't want the guys. I just want Sookie.
Not really.
They made her cute with the, carrying the tray and her little waitress outfit. So
I kind of want Pam too.
That
though.
says Merlot.
Yeah.
Then that'd be cool. Pam and Sookie, girl power.
They can be friends
as
they were
as
in the
it
books.
should be.
Yeah.
So
we got plans, folks. We also have a poll up. We're going to be doing several polls as we're heading into the final episode. And then after the final episode airs, we'll do our fan survey, as we've done after every season finale for the last few years. Actually, I think since season 3 or 4. We'll be doing that again. And then we're also going to do some bracket tournament kind of things. So stay tuned for that. That'll be after the season finale airs on August 24th. We've got plans. But right now we have a poll up asking, what is Bill's ultimate fate? After this week's episode where he refused to drink the blood, the cure, we've been speculating since before the season even started that he wasn't going to that Bill wouldn't make it through to the end, that he was going to find the true death. And the flashbacks that we were being shown and slowing things down for pretty much the entire season just made it seem more and more apparent. It was just evidence to support our theory that Bill was going to die, or my theory, I guess. I don't know that Liz fully subscribed to it because she doesn't want it to happen. I'm ambivalent. I don't really care enough about that character. There's very few characters that I care enough about to care if they die, and Bill is not one of them. So, I don't know. I'm not sure how. Like, I'm ambivalent. I'm not hoping that he dies, but I don't think I'll be devastated if he does.
Well,
I think it all depends on if it happens, how it happens. I think that's what it's going to boil down to. So we've got this poll that's up now, and we asked, what is Bill's ultimate fate? And your options are, he chooses to join his human family in the true death. He decides he wants to live and drinks the cure, or he somehow becomes human, which I guess is not mutually exclusive to the other two. He could become human and be killed, or he could become human. He could drink the cure and become human. I don't know. But I thought it'd be good to have that third option in there. And currently, as the poll stands, 63% of voters think that Bill will choose to join his human family in the true death. 27% think he somehow becomes human, and 10% just think that he'll decide he wants to live and drink the cure, which is really interesting that so few actually think that he's going to live and that he'll drink the cure. That's interesting. That it's so few.
I'm surprised at the numbers that think he's going to turn human, because to me, I really don't see that happening at all. And if it did, I think that would be right up there with that smoke monster type monster. Yeah, and that, I just think that would be that ridiculous. So I just, I just don't see him doing that. It's just so totally out of, I mean, it's just out of everything, out of the whole True Blood 6.5, 7 year storytelling. It just would not. I know they've done some crazy stuff, but that just wouldn't even make any sense.
Yeah, there's not really a precedent for it, and it seemed it would feel like a last ditch effort to put them together.
It would feel to me like that. To me, would feel like they were out of ideas. The writers were out of ideas, and I don't like to say things like that because I am not a professional writer. I'm not. I mean, as far as television shows, I'm not a screenwriter. I don't do those kinds of things, but. So, and there's good writers on this show. That's another reason why I just don't think that they would do that, because I think the writers are too good to do something that ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's more the people that are voting for that option. I think it's more wishful thinking.
I get it.
That way, Bill and Sookie could be together. He would be saved, and they could actually be together. Because it's become more and more apparent that while they did reconnect and make their peace really this season, by the way, we're now officially into the episode discussion. They did make their peace this season with each other and with their past relationship. At least to me, and again, this may be colored by what I was interpreting the comments being from various people associated with the show from before the season started, is that that Bill and Sookie are not end game. And it seems to me that after they had their morning after or evening after or whatever talk at the beginning of this week's episode, they've made their peace with each other and with their relationship. And Sookie still is going to fight for Bill, but I don't think it's because she wants to be with him, and in the long term. And he is now saying that he's not good for her.
Well, yeah,
there's the darkness, and he can only give her darkness, which is what that dream was about of Sookie holding the baby. It was just darkness. That's all he can give her in his mind is darkness. So a way around that is to make Bill become human. And so I get that that's why a lot of people are voting for that option.
And also, Bill also said, he alluded to the fact that he thought that being with Sookie would change a lot of things, that it would be like some kind of a magical cure for the life that he's been living and stuff, and it just wasn't. So to me, I just kind of think that while he has a deep fondness for Sookie, and he will always care about her, I don't think, for the other reason too, I think he was just too much in love with his wife, and remembering all that, his wife and his kids, remembering all that just kind of made him realize, you put the two up against, or side by side, Caroline and Sookie, and what he had with her and what he had with Sookie. There's just, no pun intended, but it was night and day. And
it really was.
And
he can't have with Sookie, he could never have what he had with Caroline, which is a family.
Right. So, I don't even think he felt differently about Caroline. Caroline was his first, love, and possibly his one true love. I mean, again, I think he loves Sookie, but not in that same way. Not in the marrying forever after kind of way.
Yeah.
So,
which is kind of hard to take when if you've been a Bill and Sookie fan all this time, that's kind of a hard realization to make. But I think it's important, for the story moving forward to acknowledge that Sookie may not be the one for Bill. Not that Bill may not be the one for Sookie, but that Sookie may not be the one for Bill. Which is a completely other side of the argument that we haven't really seen a lot of. So it's,
I get it, but
we'll see.
I've really never bought into the idea that Sookie should be with a vampire at all. Not even while I was reading the books.
We've been saying that for years.
It's just
we've been
not, no.
Because she'll never be turned, and she wants children. So it's just not feasible. Not realistic. And that's the same way as in life. You may care deeply about somebody, but for other reasons, we're told that love conquers all, but that's not always true. So, I did want to mention that a commentator on our site named Lainey has been, for the last week or so, she's been suggesting that she sees a parallel between this storyline with Bill and the Hep V and the storyline in the books where he has silver poisoning. And Sookie tracks down his sister, and her blood is the antidote for his vampire sister, not his real life sister. And her blood is the antidote for the silver poisoning. And after last night's episode, she posted on our site again on Monday after the episode. She said, in spite of the way the episode ended, she says, I think Sookie may convince Bill to take the antidote. Back to the book comparison. In the books, Bill was not only very sick, but he was very lethargic, as if he had given up. It was Sookie to the rescue, and he did drink the blood he needed, and he did recover. She helped him snap out of it. And Lainey says, I know the series is very different, but I do hope Sookie will convince him that his vampire life is worth living. And you know what? I think she's onto something. I think this is yet another bringing us back to the books. It's not exactly the same, but thematically, it's the same thing.
Thanks for bringing that up, Lainey, because I had actually forgotten about that. And stupid me, because that was a big deal in the book. Bill was gonna die.
Yeah.
So there's still that possibility. I was kind of depressed after the episode was over with. I mean, not walking around, not like that, but because I don't want Bill to die at all. I just don't. It would make me so unhappy. But I mean, it's It's not going to devastate me, but I just think it would be sad because it would be, for all the departures the show has taken from the books, this would be the one that I would have to disagree with the strongest. Because there are, Bill and Sookie, we just talked about, Bill and Sookie don't belong together, but there are other things that he could do. You know, like be a good neighbor.
Just like in the books.
You know,
she sounds hideous. Well, he's dead. So.
You know, just be there for Sookie, like a neighbor and a friend.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of like oddly enough what Jessica and Jason were talking about.
Yes, they came to an agreement about their relationship, a conclusion. There's a post-mortem on EW.com with the episode's writer, Kate Barnell, where she talks about a lot of what happened in the episode, but specifically relating to Jessica and Jason, she confirms that that's the conclusion of their romantic relationship. Yeah. That conversation was them agreeing that they're not going to have one, that they're going to have a beautiful friendship, but they don't belong together, which of course means that. And then the next day, Jason basically gives Hoyt the go-ahead to go after Jessica again, which, I don't know. Do you think that's actually is that going to be Jessica's happy ending?
Well, we talked about this last week, and I don't know. I don't know. I think
she would have to turn Hoyt, which honestly I don't think is beyond the realm of possibility for that character.
I still think he's going to go back to Alaska. And, yeah. No,
maybe they'll spend winters in Alaska and summers in Louisiana.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because it's almost always dark a lot in Alaska in the winter.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know how that's going to play, and I don't really know how I want it to play. I'm not sure if I care. I'm really not sure if I care. I love the characters. I liked them as they were. I had already said, my goodbyes to Hoyt when he left, and I thought it was a good thing, as much as I didn't, want to see him leave the show and leave the story. There was just no place else for him to go. I don't think that there's any place for these two to go either, because Hoyt doesn't know what he wants yet. He really doesn't.
I think if he was unglamored and he remembered his past with Jessica and Jason, this is a different Hoyt that we're seeing. He came in guns blazing and rescued Jessica and Jason and Adeline and Wade. I'm still not 100% sure how he knew where to find them. He must have followed Jason and Bridget, and maybe found Bridget in the car, and she told him where Jason went, and that it was dangerous. Because Jason did give her a loaded gun and told her to stay in the car, so that's a pretty good sign that there's something wrong in the house. I think there must be a deleted scene, something that got cut that tells us a little bit more about how Hoyt got from his mother's house to Violet's house and barged in. It was an awesome entrance, coming in with the pow, taking Violet out. So not what I expected. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Just to keep it relevant here. I was ready for somebody to shut her up, but I was starting to get queasy when she was talking about what she was going to do to everybody. Yeah. No. That was too much for me. You guys know. You've listened to us for 7 years. You know. We can't handle this.
We don't do torture. We don't do. I can't even listen to it. So, perfect timing.
So I'm glad we didn't have to do more.
Although there was a part of me that kind of felt, okay, so since she spilled the beans on what she was going to do, here's a good time for her to, bite a bullet or something.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, and sure enough, that's what happened. So, yay. it's too bad, because I would like to have known more about Violet, especially after what she was saying. She was very old.
She was. I mean, we knew that. She was older than Sophie Ann. She was at least like 700 or 800 years old. Almost as old as Eric. But yeah, when she was, getting out her crazy rantings and talking about what she had to do to survive, basically.
Yeah. I mean, she
Through
was
some
around.
brutal centuries.
She was around when Cleopatra was around. Whoa.
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh, that's right. She was. Okay, so she's at least 2,000 years old.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know, she was an interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been great to explore her. I think if they had taken this series on a couple more seasons, they might have, because there was an untapped well there. So, she was crazy in the end, and I'm glad that she's gone. But it just woulda, shoulda, coulda, right?
Yeah, there were some interesting story options there. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad she's gone, because now let's get Jason moved on. He's had some epiphanies this season so far. In the last few days, that he's been having to watch friends and die, and his sister lose her boyfriend and all this other stuff. He's come to realize that he wants kids, which I think is why Bridget and Hoyt had that conversation where Hoyt doesn't want children. So, since Jessica can't have children, I mean, it's going to be a big swap, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. Okay, I'll wait for the spoiler section to talk about that. I was going to say something about the preview, but we'll wait. So I think that's what we're being set up for, is that Hoyt and Jessica are going to reunite, and Jason and Bridget are going to. She's going to be kind of the, what was her name? Michelle. She's going to be the Michelle from the books, the Michelle character.
Oh,
that he ends up marrying.
Yeah, that's right, Michelle. That was her name.
Yeah. So
maybe, yeah.
That's my guess on that.
It's fine. Whatever.
I think that's what's being set up. It's nice to have Hoyt back. Mm-hmm. So it was a nice surprise that he's sticking around and maybe going to be a permanent part of their lives again.
Yeah. So. It was a nice shot. The shot of the two of them sitting together, at Merlot's.
Merlot's. Yeah, broing it up.
That was a nice time. So,
yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, it could stay that way. Just leave it that way. I don't.
Yeah. Back to the way it was. It was a nice little hit of season 1.
Yeah, and not exactly the way it was. Again, I'd be happy if Hoyt went back to Alaska and lived his life. I don't really, I think Jason is still searching. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I'm just, there's some,
I think you're tired, Liz.
No, I think I just, I don't know, moved on.
Yeah.
Already.
I'm kind of feeling that way about a lot of these characters. Is I'm ready to see how it ends up and say our goodbyes, and feels a little treasonous.
It kind of does. I mean, it's not like I don't.
We still have 2 episodes left.
Yeah, it's not like I don't care about the show anymore. But I'm just saying, I'm at that point.
But on the other hand, doesn't that mean the writers are doing their job?
Yeah, I mean, they're wrapping stuff.
Is they're leading us down the path?
Well, if they're wrapping stuff up, regardless of whether we like the way they're doing it or not, they're doing a good job of it. I mean, that's why I said what I said before about Bill. What happens with Bill?
Yeah.
I may not like it, but if they do it well, like you said, if they do it well, I have to accept it. It's not going to, it's the show. Basically, at the bottom of everything, at the end of the day, the show doesn't rule my life.
Right. Exactly. And we have no control over it, so why waste the energy?
So
it's fun to talk about it.
It is fun to talk about it, and I like talking about it.
We can't change anything. So.
Am I going to miss talking about it? Not really, because there's a lot of other good television out there right now. So
yeah,
don't shoot me. Don't send me hate mail.
I think like I said, I think we're feeling what the writers want us to feel, is that it's wrapping up and we're ready to say goodbye and to see what happens with these characters and, say goodbye to Bon Tom.
Now, so that brings me to Tara's story, how they wrapped it up. There have been a lot. I mean, after Letty Mae showed up at Sookie's party and they had that sort of kind of a little bit of a eulogy given by Letty Mae, there was a lot of people who felt a little better about Tara's death, but there were still some who still felt that she didn't get her due. I feel like in this episode, she really did. The most important thing that she was trying to get through to her mother was forgive yourself, move on. Let's just, things happened. Bad things happened to both of us. Nobody is at fault. No one is to blame for what happened. Let's just move on. So.
And also, Tara can't be at peace until her mother is able to forgive herself and
let her go.
And let her go. Yeah, I thought it was not what I was expecting from that storyline.
But I liked it.
And I think I might need to watch it again to really get the full impact of it, because I was still waiting for some big reveal, And the fact that little Tara almost shot her father, I don't know, I guess I just didn't remember that Letty Mae didn't think that Tara knew. I think that part of the story I wasn't remembering that while I was watching it, because we knew that Tara knew that her father was abusive. So I think that maybe it was what I still feel a little unresolved on the Tara storyline, but I am glad that it ended with her being at peace. The character really needed it. Still, I think that's still Tara and Sam, I think, are the two characters that have been the most underserved of the entire series.
Yeah.
But, it wasn't about them, really.
No.
I think things could have been done better in a lot of areas, but nobody asked me, and I'm not a writer I'm not a TV writer. The only time I've ever influenced a storyline on a TV show was when I told the creator of Chuck that the fact that Yvonne Strahovski had cut her hair short for a photo shoot before the beginning of the final season of Chuck, he was asking, he said something about, what did I think about that haircut for her character, and should she get extensions? And I said, no, because her character and Chuck had gotten married at the end of season 4. Spoiler alert, from like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And I said, and a lot of times when a woman makes a big, has a big change in life, something major happens in her life, she changes her hairstyle. So cutting her hair would make sense to me. And he was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, and yeah, so that's the only time I've influenced anything on a TV show. And that was just, the hair. It had nothing to do with the plot whatsoever. So, yeah, I can't even pretend to know what it's like to be in the writer's room on a TV show, especially on something like True Blood. But,
it would be interesting to do, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be cool?
I would love to be a fly on the wall and see how they come up with this stuff, because they're so creative.
Yeah.
Sometimes to their detriment, because then they have to dig out of that storyline.
Sometimes they get a little over creative and then paint themselves into a corner. But here's what I liked about Tara's thing last night was that we got a chance to see Rutina Wesley playing Tara, as Tara, not
Yeah.
some crazed or somebody tranced, couldn't focus on anything. She was looking at her mother. She was talking to her mother. She there was a little bit of a smile. There was Tara,
And she was at peace.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted for the character, was for her to finally be at
Yeah.
peace, because she
And
had
she was
such a difficult
and
life.
she was so beautiful, and
She was.
I thought, I can't think of a nicer way to send that character off.
Yeah. I think I just really expected that storyline to somehow tie into the main storyline in a more significant way.
Yeah.
To not just be the send-off and the emotional resolution for Tara and Letty Mae and Lafayette to a degree. He saw that she was at peace, and I think that'll be good for him too. I just was expecting some sort of something more significant in terms of the overall story, but for her as a character, it was a good send off. I'm happy with to see that Tara is now laid to rest for real, and so she could move on, and we can move on, and Letty Mae and Lafayette can move on, and I am wondering what Lafayette post Tara is going to be like. Is that gonna release something that he's been dealing with? Because he's had anger. He's actually he's had anger towards his aunt about her treatment of Tara. So I wonder if having witnessed that reconciliation is going to release something in him that maybe is a factor in his own happy ending.
Yeah, a little healing between.
Yeah, that's it. A little healing.
Yeah, a little repairing of a relationship there that should have happened a long time ago. So, I'm glad the Reverend got in on it, so that Letty Mae won't be alone. I mean, what we can probably take away from that final scene of the three of them standing there together is that they can all be supportive of each other, and let the healing.
It's kind of the dawning.
Yeah, let the healing begin. And here we are. This is our family, and go on from there. And Lafayette will go back to James, and James won't be used as a what would you call him?
Dealer?
Sort of?
Product? I don't know.
Sorta?
But, he came right to Lafayette when Lafayette texted him. So I think that relationship is going to be, I think that's going to be good. I think that's going to be good. So wrapped up that storyline, and more moving forward, we'll see how Lafayette is in the last couple of episodes towards his ending. Let's see. Bill and Sookie, Bill we're left on a cliffhanger with. We've got our speculations there. Jessica and Hoyt maybe reconnecting. Jason and Jessica have come to an understanding. I don't know. It sounds like a bad thing, but they've reached a good place in their relationship with each other. That's going to be positive and leaves plenty of room for them to be friends and to be supportive of each other.
Right. So now we have. Now we get back to Mr. Gus and
Eric and Pam starting out the episode
again.
And,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pam, we're gonna do something stupid again, aren't we?
Are we doing something stupid? Yep, we are. And of course, Sookie's blood sped up the infection, because Sookie has to have whatever she wants right now. It's like, oh my gosh. I don't think she wanted to kill Bill, Pam.
No.
That's Uma Thurman. No. But yes, Pam had some good one-liners and reaction shots. when the Yakuza came in and were telling Mr. Gus that Suki was outside, you know, they were speaking in Japanese, but as soon as Eric heard her name, you know, he kind of perked up. And they showed Pam's face, and she was like, OMG, here we go again. It's awesome.
Again.
Again with Suki.
With the suck.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. But how great was that scene with Eric and Suki pretending like Suki was just another fangbanger?
Yeah.
Not that she actually listened to what he was telling her and went by it. That, you know, she needed, that he would come visit her at home later that night. But that was a pretty great scene with who they've got such good chemistry.
Yeah.
Alex and Anna, they have such good playful. Their chemistry is so much more playful than hers is with almost everybody else. Or at least they'll let that be their chemistry, I guess. They write for it. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty great. And I read in that post-mortem with Kate Barnow, she said, you know, that's the first time in 7 seasons that Anna's gotten to play glamored.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was kind of fun.
She looks so funny. She looks so funny. Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's just a blonde.
But you know what? I expected her for just for just a blink of an eye, I expected her to just slap his face.
Yeah.
Like before the glamour set in or something, you know, like,
yeah.
You jerk, I hate you.
Yeah.
So we find out what Mr. Gus is really intending to do with Sarah, with her healing blood. He is intending to hold back to get more. See, now
to make more money.
Explain this to me, because I was kind of missing something there.
Okay, so what his plan is he said within hours of getting her, they had synthesized her blood and they have an antidote ready to go. But what they're going to do is basically they're going to dilute it so that it only works for a certain amount of time, and then you have to buy more.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
leaving the vampires totally and completely dependent on it.
Exactly.
Making more money.
Just keep making money. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, like the pharmaceutical companies do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Somebody brought that up in chat last night.
Yeah.
And
it was a good point. Amy did. Yeah.
Ouch.
It was a good point.
If I was a pharmaceutical company,
that's his plan, to make buku bucks.
You can't say that. Yes, we can, because we're HBO.
That's what the pharmaceutical companies do?
So, okay, I get it now, though. I think I lost Mel. I did. Well, we're waiting to get her back.
Lost her.
So, when he was explaining that, Eric was kind of, you know, like, okay. Do you think he's got another plan, doesn't he?
Well, I think at first Eric was going to go along with it because he's a businessman. You know, he sees it. And he's already been cured. Eric's already been cured. Yeah. So it doesn't affect him personally. But once he found out that Bill was sick and how much, and he knows how much Suki cares about Bill. And I think also once he found out that Suki is a carrier, that changed things. I think, you remember, there was this look on his face when he went to see Suki and let her know that he was okay, which I thought was really sweet. He went to tell her that, and she was glad, but of course her next immediate thought is, oh my gosh, that means there's a cure, so Bill could live. And some of you guys have commented that that was very selfish of her not to be happier that Eric is okay. But if you put yourself in that situation, someone you love is dying, and someone you love has an incurable illness, and you find out that someone else that you love has been cured, you are happy that that other person has been cured, but that means, I mean, your attention then goes to the person who is on his deathbed. Not someone who might die next week or in a month of this illness, but someone who literally has hours left.
Mm-hmm.
There's an immediacy to that. Cut her some freaking slack, you guys.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't want her together with Bill. Just, what if it was her brother? What if it was Jason? Would you be giving her that kind of crap? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So yes, her mind immediately goes to, oh my gosh, there's a cure. There's hope.
Yeah.
In this hopeless world that I've been living in for the last week, all of a sudden there's hope.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because she, even before Bill was sick, she was operating under the burden of knowing that Eric was sick. So it's nothing to lessen her feelings for Eric or her happiness that he is cured. That has nothing to do with it. It's that, again, she doesn't have time to process everything, except she's in triage, you know. It's okay, that's good news now, let's apply it over here.
Right.
So so she tells him that Bill is sick, and he, you know, at first he's just, you know, his first reaction to that is, oh no, you know, Bill is sick. And then she says that she gave it to him, and that's why it's spreading so fast. And the look that is on Eric's face, to me, was a reaction to finding out that Sookie is a carrier. Not possibly in respect of the guilt she must feel for infecting Bill, but to me it kind of felt like, you know, he had come to her to say, I'm cured and maybe we can move forward with something. Yeah. But now to find out that, oh, actually she's a carrier. So they, you know, how does that work? I've got to go back and find out what we can do about this. Yeah. Because he knows that, okay, so if he and Sookie end up together again, if he feeds from her or whatever, they exchange bodily fluids. I'm still not 100% sure how all the ways the infection can work, but then she could potentially infect him again, and he would then be reliant on the new blood. Right. Like all the other suckers out there. Right. Aha, suckers. Right. So, I don't know. I just saw a wealth of reactions in that facial expression from Eric. You know, we'll see. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I've been known to do that. But to me, that's what that look was, oh, here's another obstacle. So I don't know. We'll see how that plays out in the next couple of episodes. But I think that his dilemma regarding new blood and making Sarah available, making the cure available versus a what is it if it's not a cure? If it's not an antidote, it's something that puts you in remission, a treatment, I guess. Yeah. A cure versus a treatment. Right. Okay. Right. So so I think that was more his dilemma regarding cure versus treatment had less to do with Bill. I mean, I think he had some compassion for Bill, but I think it was more to do with how Bill's illness was affecting Sookie, the guilt that she felt, and then what does this mean for Eric, who I think we can all agree would like to be back with Sookie, at least for a little while. So that's just what I was reading into that whole scene, and that was a lot. And I know Sookie was angry with Eric for not immediately offering the cure, but he had a lot to think about there. You know, he had already agreed to Mr. Gus's plan to distribute treatments instead of the antidote, and anyway, that's going to be it was complicated. You know, that's going to be interesting because, you know, at some point Eric is going to have to, you would think that at some point he's going to have to make a choice on who gets the new blood and who gets the
full cure. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is it. This is the moment.
Yeah.
And he's decided, okay, Bill gets the antidote. He gets the cure. And then Bill refuses it. I think he's going to be pissed. I think Eric's going to be really mad. But, yeah. So that's where we are with that. And is that everybody? Because we didn't really have much with Arlene.
Not really.
She was happy to see Hoyt and Jason together. Sam wasn't in this episode. He's off thinking. And this episode took place in like 18 hours their time. So
thinking things over.
This is after I assume Nicole's mom has come. This is the day that Nicole's mom came, and so we'll find out in the next episode what happened with that. But
so
yeah,
that's that covers everybody, because I'm pretty sure we've wrapped up. We wrapped up 2 storylines.
Violet.
3 storylines.
And Eric's illness.
Oh, okay. So 4 storylines.
Oh, and Tara.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
Jason and Jessica together.
Oh, right. Yes, Jason and Jessica.
So
we're moving right along.
Moving right along. 2 episodes left. Only 2.
Yeah. So shall we hit spoilers
Let's
now?
do spoilers.
Okay. So what I was going to mention earlier was in the preview for next week's episode, we see Hoyt punching Jason in the face. And at first, I've seen some speculation about what that was about, and that was my first reaction too, was that it was Jason had made a pass at Bridget. But what if it's that Hoyt remembers what happened? Mm-hmm. And that's why he punches Jason in the face.
Which will send him back to Alaska again.
Maybe. Or maybe that's a guy thing and he punches Jason in the face and now it's over.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't presume to understand why that's the answer, you guys, but I know that sometimes that's the way it works, so. But the description for next week's episode, if I can find it very quickly here, is it's called Love is to Die, which I could have sworn was the title of an episode we had in a previous season, but didn't we have one already?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. But that's not where it is. Dang it, I didn't add it to that yet. Love is to Die. It's a short one. We did talk about it last week a little bit, but now we have, of course, more information that can help us speculate. Sookie retreats in confusion. Obviously, that's Bill refusing to drink the cure. Sam makes a choice. Jason exercises uncharacteristic restraint. And see, that's why I don't think the punch in the preview is because Jason made a pass at Bridget. Is because he's being uncharacteristically restrained, to me, means about a woman. Mm-hmm. And in this case, it would be Bridget. So I think that punch comes from something, what happened in the past. And then Eric faces a dilemma after being caught in a lie. So that has to be that Mr. Gus finds out, right?
Yeah, you would think.
Happened, what he did.
Yeah.
That's the only lie I can think of. Mm-hmm. So that Mr. Gus finds out that he gave him offered the cure.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and in the preview we see Pam in chains. So it looks.
That's got to be his punishment.
It looks like, it looks like he's really mad. Only I don't know what the big deal is. He still has Sarah. What's the big deal? I don't understand.
Loyalty?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Because there's another shot of Sarah being forced into a car or something. She's still bound, and No, they're
they're taking her somewhere else.
Yeah. So maybe that is a partnership that is not meant to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I still liked your idea of that kind of being the parallel to the Queen of Oklahoma storyline for Eric, but
yeah, that didn't go smoothly either.
No, it did not. And he did end up having to make a decision between Sookie and that.
Yeah.
Well, he made Sookie make the decision, but I hope that I hope that show Eric is a little bit stronger than that and doesn't make Sookie be the one to decide.
Yeah.
So, did we have anything else really to talk about on this one?
Not really. I mean, there can be a lot of speculation and stuff, but I am tired of speculating. I'm tired. I just want to enjoy the last 2 episodes. Can I get away with that?
Yeah.
Can I get away with saying that?
I think
so. I really I don't want to speculate anymore. I really don't. I just want to see how they wind everything up, enjoy it while it lasts, and hats off to 7 years of fun.
Keeping us on our toes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing something quite unexpected for fans of the book series, making it quite fresh.
Yeah, but I also really like the way that the last 2 seasons have brought us back to the book. Like I said, not necessarily exactly, but thematically.
Right.
Back to where the books ended.
Right.
So I just
keeping to the spirit of the books, which is what Alan Ball has always said.
The spirit of the books. They kind of lost the plot there for season 5. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where the spirit went there.
If it had been, if it had been Bill and Eric working together to bring down the Authority the way that I thought it was going to be, I don't know if I am less happy with that season because it didn't go the way I thought it was going, or if it just would have been better, whether or not that was the way I thought it was going to be. If that had been the storyline, would that have been better? Even if I never came up with that theory? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just biased because they didn't do it right, or
Yeah, that was a clear departure from the book in every way.
It was messy. It was just
messy.
It
was messy and not my favorite. Really, not my favorite.
Yeah.
If it would have gone the way that you had thought it was going to go, that we thought it was going to go, because it did look that way.
Yeah, and Skarsgård said, we were supposed to think that they were, that's what was going to happen, which leads me to think that they changed their minds midway through.
So, but that would have been keeping with the spirit of the books, because they did end up working together in a number of times.
Yeah, and they make a good team. I mean, show Eric and show Bill, they make a good team. Yeah. And I really liked seeing them, and I really would have loved that. Plus, then we maybe could have avoided the whole Billith storyline, which I still just don't know.
Yeah, it was just weird.
It was weird.
It's weird.
It was
strange.
Weird. I like how Bucky kind of yanked things back on course.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with where we're headed. I'm happy that we're headed closer to the books. Not verbatim, obviously, but we're back to the spirit of the books.
And that's good.
Yeah.
So, and
I'm glad that we still don't know how it ends.
Yes. We still don't know.
Even though we've read the books. Just like in season 1, where they kept us guessing, is Renee really the killer? Is he really the killer? Even though we had read, and we knew in the books that's who it was, that they just kept us guessing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, I mean, Lafayette was supposed to die, too. He was the one supposed to be in that car.
Yeah.
So.
But that wasn't him, thank
He
God.
made it through all 7 seasons.
Yep.
So, anyway, so that's it. I don't know. I think that's it. Yeah, we don't have.
I think so.
All right.
I think.
Well, we're going to wrap
Yeah.
up this show then for this week. I apologize if I seem a little bit lackluster, I guess. You know, I'm just ready for the next 2 episodes. Bring them on. I want to see them. I want to see what they do. So stick with us. Be sure to bookmark True-Blood.net for all the greatest. We even after the show is over with, we're gonna follow the actors and their projects and let you guys know where you could see them. And follow us on Facebook and Twitter on Friday night, or I keep saying Friday night, on Sunday nights. Minda does an excellent job in getting all the fans involved in the chatter on Twitter. And we've got the chat room open, which is a whole lot of fun. We have a ton of fun in there. As long as we're talking about True Blood and not the leftovers.
Yeah, then everybody's like, wow.
I didn't understand talking about the leftovers while True Blood was on. I was a little lost for a minute there. Is this the True Blood chat room? So anyway, but join us. We've got some buttons on our page leading you to our Twitter page and our Facebook page. So come join us, and till next week, ciao.
We'll see you next week, Trubies. Bye.